allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Conover?
Present.
Mr. Whitten?
I'm here.
Mr. Clockrod? Here. Mr. Biggs?
Here.
Mr. Rivas?
I'm here.
Mr. Polaric? Here. Ms. Graham?
Here.
Mr. President, you have four.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to the attorney for reorganization. You know this? You know.
I nominate Dan Whitten for president. Second.
Do we have any other nominations for president?
I'll nominate Jeremy Reeves for president.
I will accept that nomination. I appreciate it. I really do. Doesn't matter who's going to be president of this council. Until there's a change on the board of commissioners, you know, it's going to be a struggle. We're going to just fight ourselves up here. You know, so.
Well, I'm still voting for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I nominate Sylvia Graham.
Any other nominations?
Nomination done.
Call the roll, and then,
How would you prefer I do, sir?
I need to say if we're going to do one, we'll get Rivas or Graham. Very good.
Mr. Whitten?
I'll vote for myself.
Mr. Clockrod?
Yeah.
Mr. Biggs?
Abstain.
Mr. Rivas?
Sylvia.
Mr. Polaric?
Jeremy.
Ms. Graham?
Dan Whitten.
Ms. Conover?
Whitten.
Mr. Whitten has 4 votes, sir.
I didn't think you wanted it. You said all that. Sure, you didn't want it.
Mr. Poplar? Chair. Can I get nominations for vice? I nominate Karen.
Second.
Any other nominations? Nominations are closed, and your vice. You think so? Attorney contract.
I nominate we renew.
Second.
For a motion and a second to renew the contract with Attorney Scott McClure. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Scott, you got it for another year. All right. Citizen appointments. The ABC Board. Nominate Rudy Sutter.
Second.
Thank you.
Any others? All in favor of Rudy Sutton, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You let Rudy know he's back in. Park Board.
Nominate Eric Kazuza.
I'd like to second that.
A nomination and a second for Eric Kazuzik. Anybody else? Any other nominations? All in favor of Eric, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let Eric know he's in. Porter County Redevelopment Commission.
And now you Jim Blair.
Any other nominations? There's a nomination and a second. I think I serve on that. You serve on that as El Presidente. President, I can designate somebody, so I'll be sending Jeremy Rivas in my absence.
Well, thanks, Dan. I accept your designation. What's that?
What do you say?
He said it accept.
I don't think, did they change the makeup of that?
They changed the ordinance, but the state ordinance makes it ours, and in my opinion, if the state ordinance, the state statute makes it our appointment, and I don't believe the ordinance.
All in favor of Jim Polaric as our appointment to the Redevelopment Commission, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good job.
Jeremy is your
He cross. No, I just,
Send a letter, because they got,
I'll pin a note to your jacket.
I think you need to, didn't they?
I think it's
Peter Bowen, I'll send something out.
I'd like to nominate Vicki Urbana. Second.
Any other nominations? All in favor of Vicky, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Vicky. Discussion EDC.
Lloyd Kittredge, recommended by the
Second.
town board.
Any other? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Board of GDC.
Can we just nominate, can we just put Sarver back on there?
Yeah, let's do that.
I nominate Mike Sarver.
Second.
He's been on there for a few years.
I think it was in the bank.
Somebody sent Sarver some, too bad you're on it.
Yeah, I'll let them know. All in favor of Mike Sarver for Portage?
Aye.
And we're gonna send all these guys a letter, right? Let them know that indentured servitude. Valparaiso EDC.
I'd like to nominate Pat McGinley. Second.
He's from Morgan Township, I am. That's his homeboy.
Any other nominations?
I nominate Eric Wilson.
Do you?
Yeah, I just did.
Well, let's have a roll call.
And it'd just be the, Mr. McKinley or Mr. Wilson?
Unless there's any other nominations.
All right. Mr. Paparad, your preference, sir? Mr. Biggs, your preference, sir?
McGinley.
Mr. Rivas, your preference, sir?
Wilson. Yeah.
Mr. Flair? Ms. Graham?
McGinley.
Ms. Conover?
McGinley.
Mr. Whitten?
The Portage guy, Dan. No Portage.
Wilson.
Mr. McGinley carries, Mr. President, Mr. McGinley carries the floor vote.
I think there'd be two nominations. All right. Council appointments. Community Corrections Advisory Board.
I nominate, Jim Biggs, I believe, one of the
Who's on it now?
Thank you.
Nobody on it now?
Nobody.
That was the new one? Anybody else interested in it? I'm okay with it, Jim. Anybody else want it?
Well, can our attorney go with him too? I mean, he's got a little background and all that stuff, right?
I can.
Is that, I mean, Jim, unless you don't want him there.
You can take me. I'll go.
You mean your designated director? Any other, all in favor of Biggs going? Signify by saying
Aye.
With McClure taking him?
With McClure, so long as we have McClure with him, keep him out of trouble. NERC, who's on NERC now?
Paul Blair, he's been doing a fine job.
You want to stay on there, Jim?
Yeah, I'll see.
We got a nomination for Jim Polaric. Any other nominations? Anybody else want it? God, I can't imagine.
He's so great.
What a great group to hang out with. All in favor of Mr. Polaric being our NERC rep, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nikki, who's on that now?
I am.
You want to stay on it?
I wouldn't mind.
Or nothing?
I nominate Sylvia.
Anybody else interested? All in favor of Sylvia, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody against Sylvia?
I wasn't real enthusiastic.
Planning Commission.
Robert.
I'd like to say,
You got a nomination for Mr. Paparad?
Second.
Any other nominations? All in favor of Mr. Paparad, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? He should be opposed. Recycling and Waste District.
Nominate Karen Conover.
Thank you. Second.
Anybody else? All in favor of Karen, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? EMA.
I would like to stay on it.
I nominate Graham and Whitten.
Who's on it now?
Graham and Whitten.
I'm there with you.
Yes.
Anybody
I
else?
don't know, maybe it was not somebody else.
All in favor of Graham and Witten, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Porter County Council on Aging. Who's on it now?
I am.
Don't do it, Dan, I nominate Sylvia.
You want it?
No.
Don't say it, Dan.
I know, that's close. Thank you for keeping me honest on it. I think I did last year.
Yeah.
All in favor of Sylvia, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Juvenile Justice Advisory Board.
Nominate Jim Jay.
Anybody else? All in favor of Jim, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Mr. President, I just move that we accept the same ones as last year, unless anybody wants to change, if there's somebody that wants to change.
I'll second that motion.
No. Good idea.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Anybody want anything that they don't want what they've got? Anybody remember what they have?
Right in front of us.
Yeah, Michelle, will refresh our memory with the nice email.
Yeah, send out an email confirming everybody's appointment.
Yeah, that's fine. We have a motion and a second to, continue the same council liaison appointments. All in favor of that, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Really sped it up.
Yeah. Very good.
Guess we're down to the attorney's report.
Let's talk about the hiring freeze.
All right, let's talk about the hiring freeze. The much maligned hiring freeze. I mean, we've got some ideas, and there's been a lot of questions asked, and there's been a lot of emails with suggestions and ideas and concerns, and I think that, you know, generally speaking, we all have our thoughts on this, but I think that one thing is clear: whatever our particular thoughts or our particular visions for which direction this county should be heading in the upcoming year, I think we all agree on the fact that it's going to be a rough financial year. So we're going to have to be attuned to what's going on in expenditures, and we're going to have to stay on top of that kind of thing. On the other hand, do we want to be micromanaging departments? I don't think we do. None of us really have time to do that. But we have to send a message, I think, out to these elected officials that, look, it's going to be a rough budget year, and if you make unnecessary hirings, you can expect that there might be some unhirings after the budget session.
Well, I know we before the hiring of Vicki, we all discussed in detail the value of a position like that if we were to create it. And I believe one of the things that we talked in length about was that position's value in working with department heads and working closely with their budgets, and letting us know where they felt that there was some room there to, to tighten things up. And I think that to answer your question, I think if we come to a fork in the road where we must inflict ourselves into these individual department heads' budgets where we, under normal circumstances, we wouldn't. I think we must do it now. It must be done. We are, had a discussion with Vicki this afternoon, as well with the Chief Deputy in the Auditor's Office and the Auditor, in that the DLGF has come back and told us that we are $2.8 million short.
Right.
Which I understand, talking to the auditor, and I'll let him explain, because he's dealing directly with the DLGF, that we will have to fill that hole with reserve funds, which this board has already promised to do. But it is something that, unless we adjust the amount of money that is being spent out of this county government, we will have to find reserve funds each and every year thereafter.
And we don't have that.
kind of.
So we know a couple things. One is we know that we have this report that's going to come out Friday with some of our options for the hospital principal, and we know that here's what I think. There are 10 people elected in this county, and whatever our differences are, 7 here, 3 on the commissioners, whatever our differences are, and there's a lot of them, we all know that. One thing that we certainly have to to agree on, is that we have to tighten the belts of this county. And anybody, any 10 of us, this board or the 3 other commissioners board that don't recognize that are lying to themselves. Because we are clearly facing a crisis. And if all 10 of us can, at least whatever our priorities are, and I know we all have different things we want to do, if everybody's priority, number one, isn't funding government, we are being remiss in our duties. So I completely agree with you. I think we have to interpolate ourselves into the process. So then the question becomes, how do we want to handle the hiring freeze? I know there's been some thoughts, and I think, Scott, you had a suggestion, so why don't you go through that a little bit?
The suggestion I put together basically says that the position department head for 45 days to fill the vacant position. The vacant position is not filled within 45 days, and the remaining salary is allocated to such position shall be unappropriated.
Are you mumbling? I can't hear you. Did you hear me? He's mumbling.
Dan, can you hear me now?
I got you now.
Elected officials and department heads have 45 days to fill any vacant position. If a vacant position is not filled within 45 days, the remaining salary allocated to said position shall be unappropriated by the county council and returned to the general fund. A position becomes vacant when the employee is retired, resigned, or is terminated, and all earned time off has been paid. Elected officials and department heads are urged to take special care in the determination of whether an open position is vital to that department and must be filled, as the anticipated budget deficit for 2015 may require employee cuts during the next budget session.
You know, I'd just like to comment that, number one, our budget that we passed this year was with the commissioners did help us in meeting our budget. I appreciate that. But also, we need to be very, very careful, I believe, in sending a message to elected officials and department heads that there very well may be employee cuts. We've got to be very mindful of, they should be mindful, just as it's saying right here, who they decide to keep and what people leave, because money is going to be very tight. And we cannot keep going on with a 2.8 million shortage that we keep going here.
But Sylvia, I can appreciate those comments, but the onus of that responsibility is board.
Oh, that's true.
It's true and it's not true. The makeup of county government is a lot of change. There's a lot of change. Just because we have an appropriation doesn't mean we should spend it. And our situation is critical. And we have to go forward in future planning, just as we have to keep an eye on what we're going to do to fill the position. But if an office isn't filled, a position isn't filled within 45 days, I don't think they really need that person. And I'd like to bring, all the elected officials under the umbrella. Just because you have an appropriation doesn't mean you should spend that appropriation. And spending the days of, I don't want to lose it, so I need to spend it. They're over. They're long gone.
Well, Vicki, we had a conversation this afternoon, and I forgot the formal word that you used, but where the money, Bob has talked about this as well. The monies that have gone unspent have come, well over to be appropriated or whatever.
Those come back, being covered.
It was 1.9
Right.
this year.
If you look at
This
what
past year.
the general fund budget on,
Right.
they did not spend collectively about 1.9 million of what was accrued and or adjusted during the year. And budgets can be adjusted because of encumbrances or the initial appropriation.
And I think that is where a position like yourself can really help us. That to me is an awful lot of money. I know we're a big institution, but a $2 million difference. I can see where someone like you can go in with utilizing the resources that you have at your disposal and getting that closer to what in reality it really is.
Well, before let's address the hiring freeze question. What do you want to do? Do you stay with the 45-day thing?
How's this going to be used? I mean, how is it,
Question?
okay, think in an earlier conversation I had, it was suggested that maybe,
So, let's ask the auditor, maybe he can
Oh,
answer
okay.
that question.
Any personnel change, whether it's dismissal or change grant, anything, has to be accompanied by what's called a status change order. And those are submitted to the auditor's office, which that upon which we act in terms of whatever they're entitled to in terms of time off, remaining money, whatever that may be the case. And while it has not been routinely requested by, candidly, anyone, I have no problem issuing literally on a daily basis to Vicki, making it available to her, any status change orders that come in. We get them every time we process payroll. We gather them in, and we can certainly provide those to Vicki, and we can also provide, and something I'm going to be working with the commissioners on much more attentively this year, is every department is required when they process a period payroll to provide what's called a forecasting report, which basically marries up with the ordinance, your salary ordinance, your 144s, marries them up with what's been paid out in the current period, and then look for forecasts in the future on their budget. And we can also provide that to Vicki as well, so she can start saying where they're at relative, each department is relative to what's been budgeted throughout the year. And I can't imagine without those two tools, and we'll certainly provide any other tools you'd like, but I think those two tools can become valuable for Vicki to be able to go, okay, here's where they're at, and here's what just changed, and then you can communicate at whatever level you want to communicate to the council, where things are at. And that, you can decide if that's when the clock starts on the 45 days, or, again, we make provision for that every time we go to payroll for that.
Yeah. Outside this building, with the business model, and you say there's a hiring freeze, there's a hiring freeze. Either we're gonna have one or we're not. Now, and I came down here with that, the county lost 100% of its tax revenue, because that fall payment was made. Everybody cut back, and the building stayed open. In the real world, we would tell, what is it, the assessor, he has two positions, that logistics conservation assessor. If this was the business world and he was the department head and you were the CEO, Jim, you'd tell him, big deal. I think you're going to work a little harder in 2014. But that's what's being done all across the country. And we have hard to or not. I mean, he's going to come in here, and I'm not saying he needs him or not. He'll plead his case, and he's going to win. We aren't going to tell him no. So why don't we just get rid of it, quit all this talk? If we're not going to tell him no, there's not enough political will sitting up here. So either we do or we don't. Do we have a hiring freeze and nobody gets hired for 6 months?
With all due respect, Bob, speak for yourself, there's nothing political up here to say no. It's been a part of it. I didn't get the big name No J for nothing.
Well, my point is, either we have a hiring freeze, we don't. If we're going to entertain the assessor for 2 people, then he'll come in here and he will make a case and justify his position that he needs to build these 2 slots. Because the building will collapse, and the tax bills won't go out, and blah, 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 blah. Then, okay. So then we have a hiring freeze, we don't.
I agree with 95% of what you're saying, okay? You either have it or you don't. And I don't mean to be, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, because it's certainly not meant that way. But saying that the way we are right now, it's like saying you're a little bit pregnant. You either are or you aren't. We're having a hiring freeze or we're not having a hiring freeze. I totally agree with that. And that's why I kept back that the onus of that responsibility is on this board and not on single department heads. We don't run their offices, we don't statutorily have the authority to run their offices, but we do allocate the money to run their offices.
Okay, and I agree with that. However, I think what Bob is saying, and I think I agree with him to a large extent, is if someone's going to come in front of us, and you really think they're going to come in front of us and say, I kind of need this guy. I kind of need this position. I was thinking, it'd be swell to have someone sit at that desk. No one's going to say that. It's kind of like when we go through budgets, and everybody's got to, this guy's got to have a raise. We're going to have that with the hiring. I can't do it without this guy. Can't do it. You guys don't know what it means to be the assessor. You don't know what it means to be the auditor. You're not in my office every day. We're not going to get this done.
I mean, I got to be.
And then we're going to look at that person and say, okay, he's right. He's there every day. I'm not. What justification do I have to tell him no? We're broke. I got that part. But he's telling me tax bills aren't going to go up. How
Karen Martin had 2 spots open
That's right.
since June, and was sitting there telling us, and I'm not picking on the clerk, but this is when it's, that she had to work Saturdays and Sundays to get the work done. If she's working Saturdays and Sundays, then them 2 spots should have been filled the moment that other people should have walked out, or in preparation of them walking out. But she didn't have 2 people in there working Saturdays and Sundays, and the world's gonna come to an end.
So I think we all agree philosophically that we have to have a handle on this. We have the responsibility. We're facing a budget crisis more than this county's ever faced, and we have to have hands-on. So back to Sylvia's question, how do we implement this? How do we police it? Back to Bob's point, do we have the political wherewithal to say no when the department head is sitting in front of us? I can't do it without this person. I can't do it.
Don't have the conversation, don't allow it on the agenda, don't have the conversation. If we're gonna have a hiring freeze
I agree.
for 6 months, I agree. Let's have the
We
little
have
start
to
there.
have it.
No, don't allow it to be heard.
So
We're gonna move this
does that
direction.
include if somebody retires or somebody,
Well,
are we talking about attrition here?
I mean, no, but then there has to be some leeway. I mean, if say you've got a judge, and then all of a sudden the judge is bailiff, hope it never happens, has a grabber and dies. Does the grabber? No, the judge will have a grabber. Does that judge go, and it happens the day after our meeting, does that judge go without a bailiff? Or if the sheriff has a road officer die,
Yeah,
does he
you
go
can't
without,
have-
does he
you
go
can't
without
have
a road officer for a month? Because you can't get felons.
Quite truthfully, I think that what we learned in this last budget process, where people were not being replaced for months, just is not acceptable. And because we do, you know, I was the one that proposed the hiring freeze. I still believe we need to have it. This forum here gives them some leeway. However, we have to get tough.
Well, I personally think Scott's suggestion is, I think that's a good suggestion, is what we're talking about. We can temper to it, that we're not talking about new positions. There's a hiring freeze, there will not be new positions. Now, fill something that we've already approved in your budget, but you have not yet acted on. You've got 30 days to do that. If you don't do it in 30 days, it doesn't happen this year.
Okay. What are we gonna do with people, we've had this, presented to us before where somebody says, we're gonna do away with this person and, oh, by the way, we're gonna chop up the salary and do all this. 2 or 3 years later, you've been here long enough, you've seen it. They come before us and say, oh, by the way, we need another person. So then that would be effective, they couldn't have that.
I think what Jim's saying is, yeah, no, there's a new position and there's none of it. Not gonna be.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
those in the sheriff's department or court, if somebody would leave,
That'd be a vacant position.
a vacant, right, because their
Vacancy
vacancy
is
is retired or whatever, is,
Well, what about we send out a letter trying to clarify our point, if somebody retires or whatever, if you have a vacant position by retirement irritation, you have 30 days to fill it, or else it reverts back to the general fund, and there's no new hires, and that's what pizza.
There you go. I like it.
I like it. Second, that motion.
I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out. I mean, that seems to be our intent. We don't want to deny, like you have to grab it. Okay,
What I'd like to suggest is, so we don't go off like we did at the last meeting, is have, designate 2 of us to work, with Scott, between now and the next meeting, to come up with definitions of exactly how these things are going to be managed, and then let's pass it.
Well, no.
The only thing missing here is.
No, I don't, not to be argumentative, Jim, but it's either they're filling a already budgeted vacant position in 30 days, and that's it. There's no more hires, that's it. We don't need to have him spend time on drawing something up, if that's our intent.
Okay,
If I'm wrong,
majority of the boards,
you know, if somebody leaves by retirement or.
Well, that's what I said here, retirement, resigned, or terminated.
Yeah.
All right, so you just need to change what you got, 45?
What about that?
45 to the 30.
But that would be given about a grabber?
Remember?
No, but I we could just call that
Yeah.
resigned.
Resigned from life.
Resigned. But we could change this to 30 days,
30 days.
45, and frankly, any new position
There's none.
has to come here anyway. Nobody has the authority just to add places, add a position.
Well,
that
we
haven't
just
already
say no new
No new
position.
position.
That's
Well,
the
I
letter.
think part of it's, I know some of it's semantics, part of it's sending the message out.
No problem.
This is where we're at.
So I can add, I think.
Craft it up.
I can change this to 30 and add no new position.
No new position.
That's good.
We need a motion on that, so wait till he crafts it up.
What do you guys want to do?
I think we got.
I'll make a motion.
I would
I'll
prefer,
second.
Per his little.
I'll send it all out.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? I'd like to have a roll call on this.
Very good. Mr. Biggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
Mr. Polare?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Whitten?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
7-0 in the affirmative, sir.
All right, anything else, Scott?
Yeah, I've also talked to Paul Render today. They will have the memorandum available by the end of this week that I will then get to everyone concerning the options. To refresh everyone's memory, we commissioned a legal memorandum, legal opinion to be crafted on all the available options that we would have and pros and cons for the investment of the hospital principal. We will have that by the end of the week. I will get that out to everyone, and then follow that up. We also will be needing to then schedule a special meeting to have them tell us, so everyone has an opportunity to review those questions, or to review it, be able to ask the questions they want to answer. Also, I would think that would be a special meeting. Obviously, it's up to you. And I would think that, given the conversations that we've had, all the other issues tonight, this would be a priority, and we would maybe try to get that in, if at all possible, by the end of this month.
Would we want that to be a joint meeting with the commissioners?
Well, frankly,
We kind of need them.
well, sure, we do need them, but I
They have-
also frankly don't want to get into a situation where where we cannot somehow get along well enough with the commissioner's office to have a joint meeting.
We're gonna have-
We need to have a meeting.
No, here's the deal,
One
here's
way
the
or another.
deal, here's the deal. No, we're not kids at the playground.
Right.
We have a priority, the same priority the commissioners need to have. We'll call a meeting, I'll try to schedule a joint meeting, and if they just don't wanna come, they don't wanna come, but what I don't wanna have is us ask a bunch of questions, and then the commissioners, we gotta wait for their meeting, and we're not there, and then they got questions, and then what do we do?
In that regard, could everybody have Michelle correlate the questions and give it to them ahead of time? Sure. Anybody has a question, give it to Michelle, she gets it to Hall Render to you. So when they walk in, they've already done their research and answer the question instead of, we got, the attorney's a famous for getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dan's right. I think if we're gonna sit there and listen to a presentation, we could certainly all sit there and listen to a presentation. If one of the commissioners need to ask a question, they should ask the question, the same with anybody on this board. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
No, I just didn't know what I'm getting to ahead of time. That's all I'm saying.
And to be clear, not that I have against having a meeting with the commissioners, I just don't want this to drag. I think
Well, we're not
it's
gonna
important
drag.
and-
No.
We're not gonna drag.
Very
What I'm
important.
saying.
We're not gonna drag, I'll chair the meeting, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Anything
That's all
else?
I have.
No, this is the first step, and then we need to act. This money, we need to get this money working for us.
I agree. Anything else that needs to come in front of us?
Back in November, we had discussed the hospital abatement, and that we had some questions in regards to
Yes.
their compliance with the abatement. Has any ground been gathered on that, or ground laid on that?
Scott?
No, I'm just trying to put on the first regular meeting in January, like you said, have all the parties here.
28.
So the hospital will be in front of us on the 28th?
We'll invite them.
Make sure that whoever's in town is going now, or is he?
Will be gone by then, or the end of the month. If I specifically would like to know what their employment numbers are, because it's stated in their abatement, they're gonna hire 100 and some people. So so if in that letter, you could say we would like their employment numbers from, the day they opened up there to 365 days from that date, is what, if I remember right, the abatement said they were gonna hire those additional employees within 1 year of opening.
Okay.
Whoever, and that's what we're gonna find out too, whenever this thing truly started, this abatement, Scott, or auditor, or somebody, I mean, where are we at with that? I mean, what year, 1 year, where are we at with abatement? Time frame?
The last conversation that the council had with myself and the attorney was that you wanted to have myself and the assessor here.
Right,
That would be.
that'll be part of that
Well, let
discussion.
me-
Correct, we have to address those questions, and that's why I would recommend, as the clerk of your body, then, if Michelle can inform, the assessor to be here as well, that would be very, very helpful.
So that will be at our January 28th meeting.
That'd be a real hoot.
And how about Vicki? Do you have a report for us, a year-end report? What do you have, Vicki?
I have been working on the year-end report. I gave it to Dan to look at. I wasn't quite sure who was going to be.
I'll look it through and we'll have it available at before our 28th.
Oh, so there's a filter now for information that comes before the council?
Yes, there is. I'll look it over and get out
Basically,
to,
just write down some of the highlights from.
you don't have to look at it now. I'll send it out to you.
Graphs and charts and stuff.
Right.
Is it done?
Yes, there is one small part I just want to review, but yes, it's done in this form that I have.
So this would be something you'd be doing annually,
Hopefully monthly.
monthly?
Send out what you gave me, send out to everybody.
Can I just print that one?
Yes, you can. And that was, the delay was you handed it to me tonight and wanted to look at it tomorrow. So I'm not filtering stuff from you.
I actually saw it for you.
See, we got two filters.
Is that it, Vicki? What else?
No, you're good. Just be ready for 28th, but this is a reorg meeting. Anything else?